Welcome to this edition of Meet the Mustangs. Joining us today, head women's and men's tennis coach Erik Burton. Coach, welcome to Meet the Mustangs.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Well, Coach, you've got a heck of a job with two teams, but you've had some good success, great success. Looking back at last year, you've got a lot of players returning for the men, especially, that went to the Nationals. How do you see the season shaping up?
Well, definitely we're going to be pretty solid this year. We had our ups and downs right now this semester, but the guys are really working hard. Even in the classroom, I have nothing to complain about with them as far as that's concerned. And then hopefully we've got a few players coming in next semester that are really going to push the players down. So our 1 and 2 are probably not going to experience that this year. They're going to be playing a little lower. So it's good for us, and it's good for their mentality and their confidence.
Who do you see really stepping into that 1 and 2 position for you?
Well, there's a couple players coming in that are just extremely gifted and talented athletes, and they're getting through junior college at this point and finishing up. So, and a lot of our players already know them. I mean, you know, at a point it just comes down to our players just know other players, and that's kind of how I've got that little niche of getting these players in, is just because of the program, the way it's going, and the players hear about it and they want to come too. So it's just like everybody wants to come in and join the fun. So,
well, I know you've got a real international flair. Cross style is, I mean, you probably just answered the question. That's how you get the players.
Well, yeah, you know, I try to get all kinds of players. It doesn't really matter, but it just sometimes turns out that way, especially with tennis. I guess tennis is a big international sport, so but it works out that way normally, and you know, just try to keep it flowing.
On the women's side, you've got some ladies returning that are pretty strong for you. How do you see that season shaping up?
Oh, definitely. You know, our top 5 are returning, so that really always helps us out with experience and so forth. And you know, their confidence is building as well because of what the men do. They see that, and it really helps to encourage them to continue to battle and so forth.
How do you see the RMAC shaping up this season? Who's going to be your toughest competition or toughest opponent?
Well, what I've seen for the men so far, we haven't done anything with the women yet, but the men, you know, Metro State's got a pretty decent player, and then also, you know, UNK, Kearney, is pretty solid this year. Jake has done a really good job up there, and he's really doing some good things with recruiting. So, you know, we found that out this last weekend with some of the players that we played. We had some tough matches. So, with the men's side, that looks like those two guys or those two teams are pretty good. For the women, it's probably always going to be Kearney again. You know, Kearney always has some solid ladies, and also probably Metro State is coming out because Beck has done a really good job to boost that team.
Well, you certainly had a great season last year. You had the regional finals here against UNK, put a beating on them. How important is that in this conference or the region to get that
I think
match?
It's really important. Having to travel up to somewhere like Kearney is not my cup of tea. It's very difficult, and every year it seems to just getting even more difficult. Even with having a sick guy coming back, you know, it's really hard to get that person on the plane, and it's really tough. But, you know, having it here is really good. The altitude change is really difficult for most of the teams. Even a change from Denver to here is even more so. That ball flies out a little bit more than it would in Denver even. So it's good for us, and I hope it's good for the community, because it seems like a lot of people in the community have really come out and said, hey, you know, we like what you're doing, and keep it up, you know. So that really helps us out as well.
Well, that community support is great, and folks, as you've heard us say here on Meet the Mustangs, get out and see them. Check the schedule on the website, WNMUmustangs.com. Find out when they're going to be near you. Come out and support them. I can tell you that my wife and I have enjoyed watching your teams play, and a great group of kids, Coach, so good job.
Thank you very much.
Well, good luck the rest of the season, and thanks for joining us on Meet the Mustangs.
Thank you very much, Michael.
Okay.